Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 2nd, 2016. My name is Cliff Backus, and this is your PushButtonStockTrading.com daily video market review. Much of what we do at Push Button Stock Trading is based in part or in full on William O'Neill's classic book, How to Make Money in Stocks. O'Neill utilizes the acronym CANSLIM to identify the important elements of what he's looking for in a trade. The A in CANSLIM stands for annual earnings and reminds us that we should be looking for stocks that have an average of at least 25% annual earnings growth over the past 3 to 5 years. The L in CANSLIM stands for leader or laggard. It's important that we identify where the leadership in the market is. To that end, we use HGSI, High Growth Stock Investors Spectrum Analyzer, to identify market leadership on a daily basis. So let's get started with that. Yesterday, of the top 100 most powerful stocks in the most powerful industry groups, 11 were in the semiconductor devices industry. 7 came from footwear and apparel accessories. We had 7 in the airline industry, application software 6, and rounding out the top 5, telecom carriers. We've been seeing a lot of semiconductor devices recently. We've also been seeing a lot of apparel, footwear, and accessory design. And airlines have been strong recently. These may be good places to look for leadership in this market. Let's start today by taking a quick look at the Russell 2000. The Russell yesterday gapped higher and easily bettered this resistance area that we've been watching in the 1040 range. As I noted, we gapped higher. We closed at the high of the day. We took out resistance at the 50-day moving average. I've been saying for a long time here that the Russell 2000 is the key to the market going forward and that the 1040 area is key resistance. We seem to have taken that area out with some gusto. That, I think, is a very bullish indication. I think that perhaps the market has put in a bottom here and we should begin to look to get a little bit more aggressive in this market. See what the NASDAQ Composite's up to. But before we do that, the M in the CANSLIM acronym stands for market, and to my way of thinking is the most important element. So let's take a brief look at the market. Stocks gapped higher and never looked back yesterday, closing at their highs for the day in very bullish action. Trading was mixed, higher on the NASDAQ and lighter on the New York Stock Exchange. The Russell 2000, as we just noted, bettered a key resistance area. Our market timing model's on a margin signal. A margin signal is our most aggressively bullish signal. It indicates that aggressive traders can leverage their portfolios utilizing margin. More conservative traders should be working toward fully invested. All that noted, there remain very few stocks on our universal watch list that are setting up in what I would consider proper bases, much less providing buying opportunities, so be careful. Advancing issues bettered decliners by 9-2 yesterday. The New York Stock Exchange advanced decline line starting to look a little bit more bullish. New highs continued to better new lows. Our overbought oversold indicator is now indicating an overbought condition in the market. Keep in mind, an overbought market can become much more overbought. Large capitalization stocks outperformed small yesterday and continue to handily outperform on a 10-day moving average basis. Small caps typically outperform in bull markets. While yesterday's trade was encouraging to the bulls, this remains a volatile and somewhat unpredictable market. Be careful. Okay, yesterday the NASDAQ Composite was up 133.65 points, or 2.89%. We closed at 46.89. We gapped higher at the open and never looked back, closing at the very high for the day. The NASDAQ has recaptured its 50-day moving average, which is encouraging to the bulls. Yesterday, trading volume on the NASDAQ was heavier than the prior day, giving us an accumulation day. An accumulation day is a day of professional buying. Very encouraging to the bulls. For you followers of William O'Neill, we are in a confirmed uptrend in the market. We have been since February 18th. We have 2 distribution days, which is a reasonable distribution count. Right now the NASDAQ is bracketed by support down here in the 4506 area and resistance at this long-term trend line. This trend line goes all the way back to the beginning of the bull market back in 2009 and is going to offer the next area of resistance right in here. If we're able to break through that trend line, our next area of significant resistance is way up here in the 4900 area. Our market timing model is on a margin signal. A margin signal is our most aggressively bullish signal and indicates that aggressive traders can leverage their portfolios utilizing margin. More conservative traders should be working toward fully invested. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. S&P also had a good day yesterday, up 46.12 points or 2.39%. We closed at 1978. And like the NASDAQ, the S&P gapped higher and never looked back, closing at its high for the day. That's very encouraging to the bulls. Trading volume was a bit below the prior day. The S&P is also in a confirmed uptrend, has been since February 18th, and has only 1 distribution day since confirmation of the uptrend. Right now, the S&P is bracketed by support down here at this trend line. This is the same trend line that goes back to the beginning of the market, the beginning of the bull market, back in 2009. And resistance up here in the 1993 area. The S&P 500 is also indicating a margin signal. Let's take a look at some stocks that we may be interested in watching, but before we do, just a note. All of the individual stocks that we talk about in our video market reviews are from our universal watch list. To qualify for our universal watch list, a stock has to have satisfied at least 72% of our stringent technical and fundamental criteria and continue to satisfy at least 62%. Out of our trading universe of over 7,000 stocks, there are generally only about 50 to 90 stocks that meet these strict criteria and make our universal watch list. These are the only stocks we review in our daily video market review, and for the most part, they're the only stocks that we use in our trading strategies. That noted. Let's start today with Smith & Wesson Holding Corp. Smith & Wesson manufactures firearms, including revolvers, pistols, rifles, and firearm-related products and accessories. Smith & Wesson's working on this second stage consolidation base with a pivot point in the 2654 area. Smith & Wesson gets a 72% checklist rating, and we've seen a lot of accumulation in Smith & Wesson recently. We've seen this spike volume. If Smith & Wesson could take out this 2654 area on at least 140% of average daily volume, it might be a good place to put some money in this increasingly bullish market. Next, let's take a look at Facebook. Facebook provides a social networking platform enabling members to stay connected with friends and family via Facebook.com. I think we all know what Facebook does. Facebook has been working on this first stage base with a pivot point up here in the 110.65 area. Note, we tried to break through that pivot and failed, falling back into the base and actually getting stopped out of the position. If Facebook was to recapture this 110.65 area on at least 140% of average daily volume, it might be worth taking a look at. Facebook gets a 76% checklist rating and fundamentally is absolutely one of my favorite stocks. Notice how we've had this huge area of distribution back associated with this sell-off. That's a little bit of a concern and worth taking note of. But Facebook may be a good place to put some money in this market. Omega Protein Corp manufactures fish meal and fish oil products used in animal feed, food products, and dietary supplements. The stock's working on this third stage base. Third stage bases are getting to be pretty late stage bases, but we get a 72% checklist rating, and that kind of mitigates the late stage base. Omega has a pivot point of 25.22. We've seen a lot of bullish volume in Omega recently. Notice these spikes in volume when the stock moves to the upside. If Omega was to break out here on at least 140% of average daily volume, it might be a good place to put some money. And the last stock I want to take a look at is MaxLinear. MaxLinear provides radio frequency, analog and mixed signal integrated circuits used in communication, video display, and broadband networks. The stock has been working on this third stage base. Again, a third stage base is a pretty late stage base, but MaxLinear gets an 88% checklist rating. Today, that's a great rating. We have a pivot point up here in the 1775 area. Note that we bought MaxLinear back here off of this trend line and has been doing pretty well since then. We get another opportunity in the 1775 area. We've seen a lot of bullish volume in MaxLinear recently. Notice these big spikes in upside volume. Even in the past few days, we've been trading above average volume on up days. If MaxLinear was to break out here on 140% of average daily volume, might be a really good place to put some money. This market's beginning to look a little bit more bullish. The fact that the Russell 2000 was able to take out significant resistance is encouraging, and I think that we can begin to put money to work on the long side here. These are 4 ideas of stocks that are beginning to look as if they want to break out. These are good areas to keep an eye on, and if we see a breakout on 140% of average daily volume, this might be a good time to put some money to work. That's about all I have for today. If you want to talk about any of the stocks mentioned today or any of our market strategies, please feel free to give me a call, drop me an email, or make an appointment. Come by the office, see what we're up to. Contact information is on the home page. Please take a minute to go to our subscription page and subscribe to Push Button Stock Trading. You can also follow us on Twitter at PushButtonStock. Again, my name is Cliff Backus. That's your daily video market review. Have a safe and profitable day. Keep your stops in place, and I will see you again tomorrow. Please stay tuned for our important disclaimers. All the best. Disclaimers. Push Button Stock Trading Video Market Review is produced and edited by Clifford B. Backus. Mr. Backus is a Senior Vice President of Investments, Technical Analyst, Portfolio Manager, and Partner with the investment firm of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated. Video Market Review is produced solely for the benefit of our clients, friends, and colleagues. Anything written, stolen, and/or plagiarized in this publication is done without malice. Further, the analysis and opinions expressed in this publication are strictly those of the editor and not of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated, its affiliates, subsidiaries, or any of the officers or employees of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Inc. On that note, we submit the following. The analysis, calculations, and evaluations presented herein are based on data and assumptions Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated believes to be accurate. Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated makes no representation that such analysis or calculations are accurate or that such valuations represent levels at which actual trades may occur. This report has been prepared from original sources, except where otherwise noted, and data we believe to be reliable. Ohannes & Liqueurs, Inc., its affiliates and subsidiaries, and/or their officers and employees or their families may from time to time acquire, hold, or sell a position in the securities mentioned herein. Moreover, opinions may differ from one entity to the next. If we are used in connection with the purchase or sale of any security discussed in this report, we may act as principal for our own account or as agent for both the buyer and the seller. Push Button Stock Trading is dedicated to the education of friends, clients, and paid subscribers. Push-button stock trading is an information service only. The information provided herein is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell stocks of any kind. Push-button stock trading is created to aid subscribers in making informed investment decisions based wholly or in part on technical analysis. It's possible that at this time or some subsequent date, the editors of Push-button stock trading may own, buy, or sell the investments presented. All investors should consult a qualified professional before making any investment. The information provided has been obtained from sources deemed to be reliable, but it is not guaranteed as to the accuracy or completeness. The editors of Push-button stock trading make every effort to provide timely information to subscribers, but cannot guarantee specific delivery times due to factors beyond our control.